Welcome back. So, in today's video, I will be giving you all my first impressions of Dolce Gabbana's Devotion Intense. You see what I did there? Intense. There's an intense. I got something to say about all these intense versions of things. Baby, what y'all got going on with these intense versions? I know it's the perfume times 10. It's the perfume on 10. Does that make sense? Intense, which has to mean that some of the notes, sometimes it's the same notes, and sometimes it's the same notes plus additional notes. And intense, which means it's a stronger version of it. I think. Well, here's my personal opinion about it. I think the intense version of things, the regular and then the intense, the more powerful, stronger smelling version. I think that type of thing started with the perfume artiste of Baccarat Rouge. There's regular and then there's intense. I think that's what they call it. There's the clear red and gold, and then there's the red and gold, stark colored, gorgeous bottle of it. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's where the intense stuff started. Now they might have started it before then, but it look, I'm speaking from me. I noticed it around that time that Baccarat Rouge 540 Intense became very popular. So I'm giving y'all the first impressions of the Dolce Gabbana Devotion, but this is intense. Not to be confused with the regular we just did a first impression off of. Let me talk to you. 'Cause I still got that scent memory in my mind. Now, I remember how the first one smelled. But when I smelled the intense, I thought this was actually just the regular devotion. Okay. And so can you imagine when I just look, I, imagine you smelling something you think it's the regular version of perfume, but it's the perfume on 10. Okay. I'm gonna read you the notes before we get into everything. Okay, baby, that was different. It was like the original that I smelled already caught my attention and stopped me in my walking tracks in the store. But I'm looking, I'm like, this is intense. I hurried up and grabbed one of them fragrance cards. The lady came up to me. I said, "Let me take this home with me. Cause you're coming home with me." Yeah, God. Over here singing songs. Look, I can't sing no more of that. Y'all ain't finna be. Oh, you can't. Hello, Easton. I've not heard of a name of that before. Ain't no chicken here, baby. We giving first impressions of perfume. Perfume. Yeah, Dolce and Gabbana's Devotion, but there's an intense version. So this what we talking about right here. When I smell this in the store, I'll stop what I was doing. I'm like, nah, I can take this home with me. I said, no, where y'all get that? When did this intense come? I had all kind of questions. And I'm pretty sure there's those of you, hey, this ain't sponsored. This stuff I do for fun. Look, this is a fragrance card. Ulta, their own branded fragrance card. If you're new here, I can kind of tell when I get certain comments, I can tell who is new here. And I'm like, okay, all right. My name is Jessica. I teach people how to smell about all things fragrance, how to use it. Question yours, or feel free to ask. Or if you're not or if you're not sure, ask the question anyway. I'll answer it for you. And if I can't find the answer, I'm gonna direct you to somebody who got the answer. I not only teach, I study as well. That's the fun part. People don't realize that people that teach are also learners as well. So that's the fun part. It's two sides of the same coin. Fun part of it. Now, let me read you the notes to Devotion Intense. Do you know I'm starting to see this with fragrance mist? I'm starting to see it's trickling down to brands like Philosophy. Philosophy costs a little extra coin and is considered high end in my book, but still kind of on the same range of affordable. Like all the other brands we're used to, Dove, Caress, Olay, they're getting up there. But Philosophy, in my opinion, is still considered a cross between. It's a healthy medium between kind of affordable. It could play in the same lane of high end and affordable. If anybody understood that, hold on. Now I see what makes it intense, but then it's see. Here's the thing: I just explained at the beginning of the Well, I was gonna call this a vlog. Lord Jesus, at the beginning of this live stream. So here's the difference. See, now the video I just done not too long ago, doing the first impressions of Dolce and Gabbana's Devotion Intense. Just regular Devotion. It came just before this one. The fragrances are divided into three parts. I know when you go and watch the other two videos, if you're like, what two videos? Go watch them. Go watch them. I will be more than happy to go over with you because I realize some people don't know. And then number two, you're sometimes new here. Sometimes I just saw somebody say they're new here. Preston. You're new. You're new. Anybody else is new here, so that's fine. I don't mind going over the basic because there's still some people that don't know the basic of fragrances. They don't know the basics of what a bar of soap is, feminine hygiene, some parts, and the part that I dislike is when you people make fun of people for not knowing simple stuff like that when everybody wasn't raised the same. That alone is a whole nother video discussion that I'm not gonna put in here. Anywho, all right, so let's go here. So, fragrances are divided into three categories of how they formulate them. Base notes is what comes first, middle notes is what comes on top of that second, and then top notes is what comes on top of those other two. And whenever they finish the perfumery process, what you normally grab off of the shelf, that's the motion I'm making, and you spray in the stores and you put on these fragrance cards, and normally you're going to smell either the top notes first or a mixture of the top and middle notes. And then once you let it dry down, once you go throughout the store or take it with you home on a fragrance card, then and only then you may get the experience the dry down of the base notes and it all blending together. But perfumery it can get complex because sometimes it's oil based. Those are the best ones because once you bathe, you can still smell it on your clothes. You can still smell it on your skin. Those I love. Real good. Do you hear me? Them the best one. That not many perfumers make perfume like that. Trying to tell you, go back to oil based. Anywho, the base notes for Dolce and Gabbana's Devotion Intense is as follows: vanilla. That's a gourmand. Cookie, sugar cookie, peanut butter cookies, tart cake, buttercream, all of that. That's gourmandish. So anytime we say gourmandish, gourmand, cookie, who don't want to smell like a cookie? You see what I'm saying? It's all snickerdoodle, chocolate chip, macadamia, all that. Maybe oatmeal raisin. Them get to smelling good too and tasting good. Anywho, vanilla. I see here. Vanilla is the base notes. The heart notes, which are also known as middle notes, are orange blossom, common theme. So right now, between the intense and the regular devotion from Dolce and Gabbana Eau De Parfum, vanilla and orange blossom, they kept those two in the same exact structure. They're both in the base notes, they're both in the middle notes. Now, here's the difference. Now, when it comes to the top notes in the regular devotion, I think, is pear, if I'm not mistaken. But in the intense, which is what we're talking about tonight, okay, um, distinctive and inviting notes are hazelnut. Hazelnut. I feel like I don't see I feel like I don't see enough of the hazelnut going on throughout fragrances. Hazelnut, that's probably what I was smelling that's combined with the orange blossom and the vanilla. Because it smelled when I'm not gonna lie to you. Once I smelled this, I just thought it was regular devotion. And then I get to look at the bottle. I'm like, oh, this is just devotion. But then I got to looking on the shelves. This is why you need to pay attention. Okay. We need to pay attention to that because I started seeing two and three different bottles and a pink one. I already did my devotion first, just did regular devotion. Now we doing devotion intense. The bottles is different, clear. Even the liquid to it is different. So they be making different versions of different of this stuff, and you had to pay attention to the notes because they smell the same, but then they be changing the notes. This is one where they swapped out the pear note, I believe, from the regular one, and this devotion intense from Dolce and Gabbana, they swapped out that top note and made it hazelnut. It smells. I mean, that one stopped me in my tracks too. I don't know which one I like more. My devotion is okay. It smells like a sugared orange. I think that's the one with the pear. The regular devotion already was like, hmm. Hello, how are you? Right, can you give me a piece of paper and tell me where you bought that perfume from? It just captures your attention. However, intense, child. Got me one over here about to turn on gospel song up in here. Child, this one. You don't. I'm telling you, when I sprayed this, thinking that when I'm telling you, once I sprayed this, thinking that it was the regular devotion from Dolce and Gabbana. Thank you, Jayla. Appreciate it. When I sprayed this, I'm like, I thought it was the regular one before I had a look at the bottle and the setup on the display. Child, don't you go wearing this till I'm going to wearing the earrings. Child might get hit on. Now, if that's your goal, then you still need to you need to still think of your safety. Okay, sis. That's all. If there's any men wearing devotion, because you know some men they wear it. Okay, the body chemistry is different. I'm not a big burly dude. Okay, I'm not a big burly dude, so I can't tell you what men's body chemistry does. But what I can tell you, some of the men that look, I knew it was real when I saw men on TikTok. One in particular told me he loved EOS Vanilla Cashmere. I was like, baby, that's it. We it no longer belongs to us as women. They like it too. They like smelling like cookies too, and their body chemistry takes it in a more masculine way. Don't ask me about the details of that because I would have to do more research. I would have to ask people. I would have to ask people to men I know to just, hey, can you do this? Can you do a patch test of this vanilla lotion? Big burly dudes. I don't want to wear no vanilla. They like smell. Don't mean they like smelling like it. Now some they don't care. I'm telling you, their body chemistry transforms stuff in a masculine way. It's beautiful what body chemistry does. Chemistry in general. Anywho, I say all that to say this. Don't you go wearing this. Go to that store tomorrow. I'm going to Ulta. I'm going to Target. I'm going to Walmart. I'm just going to go to buy groceries. Baby, be stuck in the aisle for 15 minutes. I'm talking about the perfume alone. What is you wearing? What's that lovely fragrance? Child, hold on. Okay, I'm back. I just had to. Child, you'll get stopped and asked multiple times. I'm telling you this now based off of what I smelled in the store. I know what the original smell like. Child. When I smelled this, think it was the regular one, and then looked and saw it was, oh, this is intense. That's why I grabbed the bottle for. I mean, it's like a sugary orange, cranberry, vanilla, creamsicle cookie with hazelnuts in it and chocolate chips and hmm, I'm having a I'm trying my best to describe it. It smells so good, but you better be ready to get stopped multiple times. Talking about I'm going to the grocery store. Baby, from the time you go in there to the time you come out, you're probably gonna get stopped several times. If you don't get stopped, so you're gonna leave a trail of a scent behind where folk will probably gonna follow you just to ask you what the scent is. Just be careful. That's all I'm saying to you. This is one of these perfumes that'll introduce itself before when you go in a room without you having to say a word, word at all. That's what you want perfume to do. Okay. Hello. I remember the first time I smelled Baccarat Rouge, and it had to be the Intense. The Intense of Baccarat Rouge 540. And I'm saying this to reference what I'm talking about. Being that this is intense. Um, I remember when I smelled it one time. I was at a place of worship church, and I was trying to figure out which direction they came from. They passed by so fast. Like, where did you go? I need to ask you where you bought that from. Neiman Marcus was one place that got it. There's a vlog where I went to go find it from Dillard's, and they ain't have it. I went and asked the lady. You, I ain't lying to you. They didn't have it. But child, there's a distinction with Baccarat 540. Baccarat Rouge 540 Intense. The red bottle is the Intense. I remember, I ain't forgot it. Since then, but before I smelled the actual, I know what the dupe smell like. Still got a dupe of it. I've smelled the real thing, so I know the difference. Once you know the difference between the real thing and the dupe, and the regular and the intense, and whatever degrees of it, perfume is so you'll go down a rabbit hole, all kind of stuff. It's beautiful, but you just have to have some education to know what you're getting into, so that way you could buy what you know is worth it for you. But ladies and gentlemen, that is Dulce and Gabbana's Devotion Intense, and this is working off of over 24 hours of scent that has been sitting on the card. Mind you, your body chemistry will take it a different way. Okay, and that's why I'm glad they have the tester system where they go in there and you can spray it, and they have the fragrance cards ready for you. You feel me? Yeah. I got a playlist full of first impressions, and I'm going to post that. It just reminded me of that again. Um, for you all to enjoy. That's why you see I keep smelling it. No other reason. See, this is a way of you taking perfume home with you. Now they do sell Ulta and the other places they do sell in department stores, Dillard's, Macy's, so forth. They sell Primark. Do they sell? Do your research. They do sell travel size samples, but them things be costing about as much as what the one fluid ounce probably used to cost a good number a while ago. So just do your research. I'm just here to give you the experience and what I think it smells like, because you may pick up something different, because not everyone's nose picks up the same.